Hello and welcome to ClubRackets.com. Today we're going to be having a look at Victor Badminton Rackets. Victor are a major player on the world badminton stage. They produce exceptionally high quality equipment and sponsor many national teams and high quality players such as Tai Tzu Ying, Hendra Setiawan and Anders Antonsen. Their range has choices for everybody from beginner to advanced players and everyone who plays singles, doubles at any pace. They've got head heavy, head light, even balance rackets, and we're going to talk you through all the differences of the ranges to help you inform your choice of a Victor Badminton racket. So when thinking about picking a Victor racket, the first choice you should probably make is to decide whether you want to go for the head heavy range, the thrusters, an even balance racket, the drives, or a head light racket from the Auraspeed range. We'll be going through each of the ranges. You can find the times in the description below and each of the rackets in the ranges to help give you an idea which one might be suitable for you. Head light rackets in general are quick and they're good for fast attacks and around the net and the mid-court. Even balance rackets in general are good for a bit of everything. They're good for control, they're good for defense, they're good for attack, but they're not quite as quick as the head light rackets and not quite as attacking as the head heavy rackets. Head heavy rackets give you a lot of power. You can get a good feeling of where the head is, but they can be a little bit slower to swing. Right, so to start us off on our journey of looking at the Victor Badminton Racket range, we've taken a page from the Victor catalogue and we've blown it up here to use as a background so that we can show you the characteristics of some of the rackets. This chart here has head heavy rackets, head light rackets, stiff rackets and flexible rackets on it. It also has some good information about grip sizes and weight categories that we'll come to later. We'll keep this on as a background as we go through the ranges, and you can find it in the catalogue if you need it as reference later on. Right, so the first range we're going to look at is probably the most popular range from Victor. It's the thruster range, so the head heavy rackets. You can see them marked here on the chart in red, and they vary, as you can see, from stiff and head heavy to slightly less head heavy and more flexible. And we're going to start off with the thruster F. So the thruster F is generally, over the last couple of years, been the best selling racket from Victor. It is stiff, but not as stiff as some of the Ryugas, and it's not as head heavy as some of them. For me, when I play with this, it feels like a lot of the weight of the racket is around here. It's a very good racket for doubles. It's nice and versatile for a head heavy racket and nice and usable. As well as the Thruster FC, there's also the special edition, which is the Hendra Setiawan version of this racket, which is very similar, but this is a 3U racket, so a few grams heavier than the 4U. So if you like this racket but want a bit more weight, a bit more power, then go for the Hendra Setiawan Thruster F. Next up, we have the most head heavy rackets in the Victor range. So we have the Thruster Ryuga rackets. They generally come in a 3U weight, which is quite heavy when you combine that with head heavy. So it takes a degree of advanced play and skill to get the best out of these rackets, but they do generate incredible power and they have a great touch around the court because of the weight in the head. The first racket on top here is the Ryuga Metallic, and this one is a relatively new one out in the UK. It's got a wooden handle which makes it a bit different from the other ones. Been very well received by the market, and I think it will continue to play very well. There's also one of the newest rackets this year, the Thruster Ryuga 2 Pro. Okay, so this is a fraction less head heavy and a fraction less stiff, but still a very powerful attacking racket. Then we have the Ryuga TD. Haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but just another model in the range. And then an older model, the Ryuga 2, which is on special offer at the moment, and that replaced the original Ryuga 1. Just a quick note on the Ryugas. If you love the thought of playing with a Ryuga, but they are a bit heavy for you, we should later in the year be getting some 4U versions of the Ryugas in around September time. So hopefully that'll give you another option in terms of weight. So now it's time to look at some of the other thrusters in the range. So we've got the Thruster K11, which sits here on the chart, so it's just got a little bit more flex in the shaft, a little bit easier to play with. And the Thruster K12, similar, but just a little more flexible again. So they sort of sit in the mid-range. Then we have the Thruster K1H, one of our best sellers this year. It's selling for around £70. This is a very nice racket for the money. It's got a bit of flex, very nice and easy to play with, ideal for a beginner or an intermediate. Not overly head heavy either, so a good all-rounder. And then we also have the Thruster K15L. This one is 5U, so it's really lightweight, looks nice, so perhaps more for someone who really likes a lightweight racket, or for female players who want to play around the front court and be very quick. The even balance range of rackets from Victor, called the Drive series. They do also have some even balance rackets called the Jet Speeds and the Brave Swords, but they're sort of more older models now. So you can see the drives marked on the chart here in black, and we're going to start off with one of the top end models, the Drive 9X. This one's been out for quite a while. It's a 4U, it's got quite a stiff shaft. It's also got twist around here, which makes it really solid and just very quick, ideal for sort of doubles players who play a lot of mid-court, fast drive, sort of defensive kind of players. A really popular racket that has sold well over the years. Next up we have the Drive 10. This is a newer model for us. It's 3U. It's got the free core handle, it's got the metallics technology, makes it a little bit more flexible. Still got the twist in the frame here, which looks cool. The Drive 10X is a 3U model, so it's a little heavier, and the weight does tend to help flex the shaft a little bit more, so it feels a little bit more flexible when you're playing with it, even though it is relatively stiff. We will be later in the year getting some 4U models of this one in, so that'll be interesting to see how that compares to the Drive 9X. The other models of the Drive series that we have in, we've got the more basic model of the Drive 1L. This one is a really nice looking racket. It's 5U, so it's a little bit lighter, and it's a little bit less stiff, so a bit more for your sort of intermediate players, people who like a lighter racket. Then the other model which we've got is this lovely looking Drive F, which has just arrived. So again, this one's light at 5U, but it sits right up here on the head heavy side, which is unusual for a drive racket. This again has a little bit of flex, and I think, judging by the colours, aimed at the female market. Right, so now we're going to look at the Auraspeed series, which is the headlight rackets from Victor, and you can see them here marked on the chart in the green. So first of all, we'll go for the 90k series. There was the original 90k that was very well liked. This is the 90k2, and there's also the 90k metallic, which is the newer model. Now the 90ks are very much liked by professional players. They're very stiff, they're very precise, they're for you, they're quick, they're lightning fast, and they're just very popular all around. 90k2 with its lovely sort of lightning colours on it replaced the 90k, and just recently there's the 90k metallic, which is the newer model, which unfortunately we don't have one to show you because they've been so popular that we've sold them all out at the moment. Next up we have the Auraspeed HS Plus, which is just a little different to the 90k. It feels a little bit heavier on the swing, a little bit less stiff, but it's great feeling racket at the moment. Feels very powerful around the court, and I think is really suitable for playing doubles, again for UG5. Next up we have a model that's been out for a while. This is the 100X. So this is a 3U model, so it's got a bit more weight to it. Doesn't feel particularly headlight because of the extra weight, but it is. This was the first racket that came over with the free core handle, which makes a big difference to the way the rackets feel. So that's another option if you want a heavier headlight racket. Then we've got one of these LGH Auraspeed rackets. They sit up here a bit more head heavy, which is unusual, but they're a special edition for a player. Again, still for you, but just got a bit more head weight for his particular style of play. And then heading over to the lower end of the Auraspeeds, we've got the Auraspeed 9 here, which is just a nice flexible sort of intermediate attacking racket, again for you weight, so very easy to get along with. And lastly, to round out the range of Victor Badminton rackets that we hold, we've got the Light Fighter series. Victor do some incredibly high quality and popular lightweight rackets, and these 4 Light Fighters are all 6U in weight. The first one here, the Thruster Light Fighter 30, has a box frame, and this has always been the most popular model for us ever since we started. We've sold an awful lot of these over the years. The next one here is the Drive Light Fighter 60. This has a more rounded frame, and that sits here on the chart, a bit more head heavy, a bit more aggressive. And then we've got the 2 that are the Auraspeed Light Fighters, so the 80 and the 40. They've got a more sharper frame for a bit more speed, but they're both still head heavy. So that's the end of our brief outline of the Victor rackets that we hold here at ClubRackets.com. I'm still testing all the rackets and learning about them myself, but if you've got any questions about them, please leave a comment and we'll do our best to answer them for you. I think my favourite at the moment is the HS Plus, but the more I get to play with them, the more I'll know. If you've watched this far, thank you for watching, and there's a cheeky little discount for you in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe this video and watch out for reviews of the individual Victor rackets that will be coming shortly.